Hello, I'm Brad Martin with BICMagazine.com, and we're here today at the Petrochemical Supply Chain and Logistics Conference. I'm here with Brian Fielkow, of the CEO of the JETCO Logistics. Thanks for joining us today. Can you give me a little brief synopsis of your company and yourself?
Sure. JETCO is based in Houston, and we run about 160 trucks. We've got terminals in Dallas, Freeport, San Antonio. We run the whole country, but our focus with our assets is on the Gulf Coast, on the Gulf states, up into Oklahoma, and we have a nationwide freight brokerage company, handles loads anywhere, and we're very involved, of course, in petrochemical and resins.
Nice. We just watched the panel on trucking in the current state. One of the things that popped up was the driver shortage. Could you go into a little bit of information on what that is and how is that impacting the industry?
Yeah, this whole nation is facing a serious truck driver shortage right now. And short term, right, the kind of near-term factors that are causing the driver shortage to be felt is a sizzling economy. You're going to feel the driver shortage less if the economy is quiet. You're going to feel it more if the economy is booming. But what you've got to look at is what's underlying the shortage. And what's causing the shortage is demographics. The average age of a truck driver is in his or her mid-50s. We've got retirements, and we're not attracting young people to this industry fast enough. So ignore the peaks and valleys. That's just part of the economic cycle. Look at the long term, and the long term says that we're not bringing people in fast enough to keep up with demand and to keep up with retirements, and we got to change the game, and there's ways to do it.
What are some of those ways that you guys are doing to combat this driver shortage, to make it more attractive, more appealing?
Well, it's a multi-pronged battle. First of all, driver pay, as a general rule, has been abysmally low. And this generation has a lot more choices than generations before them. So driving a truck may be one option, but then they've got a dozen other things they could do. Where maybe a couple generations ago, driving a truck was one of a smaller group of options. So we've got to make truck driving fun again. We've got to put the passion back into it. And we're doing that. First of all, pay has to change, and it is. Now that's affecting rates. And shippers, forward-looking shippers get it, they understand it, because what they need is reliability to get their goods to market. But it goes beyond pay. It's treatment and respect. And that's everybody's job, whether you're in business, just society, whether you're driving around a large truck, make sure you understand they can't stop the way your car can.
Exactly.
All of us have a role in putting pride back into the profession. This is not a trucking industry only problem. So it works best when shippers are treating our drivers right, when shippers are focusing on productivity. If you want to put a cap on rates, create productivity, and create efficiency so the driver can do more with his or her available driving hours. But we can't just be stuck in our old ways and expect the same result. It's not happening. I said on the panel, there were 3 trucking companies on the panel, and I said, all 3 of us are no longer in the trucking business. We're in the business of providing driver services. And by that, I meant that your location has to be, relatively desirable for a driver to go to. I'm not talking about gold mine driveways. I'm talking about the basics, basic treatment, basic respect, basic understanding that drivers make their money on productivity, respect for the driver's safety. The basics go a long way to become and remain a shipper of choice in this environment that we're in right now.
Okay. Another thing that popped up during the panel was Uber Freight. I believe the question was how is this going to affect the industry? What are some additional thoughts?
Well, if you're an asset-based trucker, I really don't think it's going to have much of an effect, especially if you're an asset-based trucker servicing petrochemical. It's pretty specialized. Uber Freight is nowhere near that space. I don't see them being near that space. I think what Uber is doing is they're taking the freight brokerage model and they're bringing it up. So just like Uber matches a driver to me when I want to go somewhere. Uber may have the ability to match a load more efficiently than old models. So I see Uber Freight having a place in the supply chain. I mean, look, you've got a well-capitalized company with a lot of smart people, but I don't think asset-based truckers need to worry, because that's not what Uber is doing. And I think Uber Freight is a wake-up call to everybody that we've got to keep reinventing ourselves. It keeps us on our toes. It keeps us in the game. We can't let somebody, outlap us. But I don't stay up at night thinking about Uber Freight. I stay up at night thinking about healthy international trade relationships. I stay up at night thinking about, we've got a great thing going right now. How are tariffs going to impact it? Are tariffs going to impact it? Those are the real challenges I think we're facing.
All right. Sir, I want to thank you for your time, and you have a great rest of the day.